I have a question,
Yes.
Tony. Do, brokers generally ask the carriers to put their brokerage as certificated insurance. How does all this fit in together? Looks
Yeah,
like we're double doing it.
I was speaking, well, okay, there's two things. I was speaking with Robert about this. On a certificate of insurance, there's who's insured, and that's the carrier. And then there's a place for the certificate holder, which is the broker in most cases.
Right.
And that just means, and sometimes a shipper will require that they're in there as well as an additional insured. So there's certificate holders, which is usually you as a broker, and sometimes the shipper. So you are notified if their insurance lapses or is canceled. Being additionally insured, that's different. Just because you get a certificate doesn't mean you're covered at all. The only time that may apply is if you are an additional insured and you're covered, and some shippers will require that. And the carrier usually has to pay an additional fee for that. For everybody that's going to be an additional insured, their insurance company may cover charge them $50 to $100 per that, and it's worded a little bit differently. But that's not the same thing as you being covered against somebody suing you directly. Or again, and that contingent cargo that kicks in if the carrier's insurance either lapses, canceled, not at all, doesn't exist, or is insufficient to cover some kind of potential loss. And that's when your contingent cargo liability insurance pops in.
Okay.
So having proof of insurance that the carrier has is one thing. That's the primary purpose of that certificate. Helping to cover any potential loss or liability that might come back at you is different. And that's where you need your own insurance versus just having a certificate of insurance from the carrier's insurance company. Did that make sense?
Kind
of. Okay. Yeah, and when you get closer to the point where you need it, if you're a broker, if not, that's something the broker's going to handle. If you're just looking to be a freight agent, it will. So it's a difference between a practical requirement in the industry. Everyone wants to know that a truck has the appropriate insurance necessary, and that the trucking company, if there's a potential loss, the shipper's not going to be responsible for it. The shipper's not going to get sued, and that your trucks are covered in case of accident. And then there's protecting yourself as an agent. You don't have to worry about it. That's the broker's responsibility. If you have the broker's license, you have the freight brokerage business, then you have to be concerned about potentially your company getting sued, or potentially your company having to cover some damage or some loss from a shipment if that carrier doesn't have sufficient insurance to cover it.
Okay.